Hi everybody, hopefully this is all working with the sound and everything. Welcome to my first Facebook Live. It's the first of two as part of my Blogtober series, so hopefully you're going to enjoy what you get out of these videos. If you can't listen to the live broadcast, there will be a replay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump straight into it and tell you that today's live is all about the benefits of blogging for small business owners. There are absolutely loads of benefits to it. I'm going to stick to just 5 today, just to keep this relatively short. And yeah, let's just get stuck in. I'll tell you a bit about myself if you don't know. My name is Kat. My business is called The Content Consultant, and I help SMEs to create content that inspires action. So that can be blogging, copywriting, and I also offer online marketing consultancy for people who are feeling a bit lost with what to do online. So, how many of you are blogging already, I wonder? If anybody jumps in and wants to type a comment, let me know that they are blogging already, then crack on. In terms of the structure of this, if you want to ask any questions, I will probably answer them at the end rather than throughout, just because I can end up going off in a tangent and we don't want that. So let's get into my 5 benefits of business blogging. And if you see me just randomly look over here, it's because that's where my notes are. And I'm going to be honest with you guys and say that's why I'm doing that. So benefit number 1, SEO. Now, you've probably heard a lot about SEO, whether you really fully understand SEO or whether it's a bit lost on you or you just kind of decide not to pay any attention to it. SEO is really important for your website, and the great thing about blogging is that essentially blogging gives you the opportunity to get more traffic to your website. Creating blog posts creates more links to your domain, and therefore if you're writing about relevant topics that your target audience are going to be searching for, then they're going to appear higher in search engines if you're using your keywords right, and it's a surefire way of just bringing more traffic in. It won't happen overnight. It can be more long term, especially if you work in an industry that's quite competitive and there's lots of content out there already. So really it's a balance between providing blog posts that are targeted to what people are searching for, but also making them as value adding as possible and as optimized as they can be for search engines so that they rank higher. So that's benefit number 1. Benefit number 2 is expertise. You want to be seen as an expert in your field, right? Surely. As a business owner, you want your audience to come to you as a resource for whatever, if it's a product or a service, you want them to believe in what you're selling. And the great way of doing that is writing about it. So creating blog posts about your industry, whatever that industry may be. It also helps you build trust with your audience as well. So it's not just about churning out loads of content that's to do with your business and your industry and your products or services. It's actually about building trust with your audience, giving them enough value that they can take away and think, do you know what? I want to deal with this person. I want to buy their product or service. So that's the second benefit. The third benefit, and we're really whizzing through these, so I'm hoping maybe some people might jump on and start asking questions, but let's wait and see. The third tip is connecting with your audience. Sorry, your third benefit is connecting with your audience. So you want to be seen as the person, like I say, that you need to be the person behind your business. The person behind your business is, So you want to be the person behind your business, and that basically means that you need to get your personality across, who you are as a business owner, what that means to your business, and it's all tied into what your brand values are. We're not going to dive into brand values today, but they are useful for blogging, and there are some resources on that topic in my free resources library that I will talk about a bit later. Anyway, so connecting with your audience. People buy from people, so you might not, depending on your brand, you might not necessarily talk how you would talk to your friends down the pub, but you do still want to be seen as being human. You want to be the face behind the brand. With my business, doing things like this is exactly like an example of that. It's putting yourself out there in the content that you create, and you can do that quite easily within your blog posts. If you have an opinion or particular level of knowledge about a topic, then share it with the world, basically. Our fourth tip is to, I'm sorry, the fourth benefit is to convert your visitors into customers. Blogging is really good for this because it allows you to sell in a way that isn't overly salesy. Hi, Steph. And it basically, like, using blog content to convince your customers, to kind of push them down that sales funnel, is a really easy thing to do in terms of, again, adding that value. The hard part of it is that final, like, hard sell at the end of a blog post. If you're really passionate about what you're selling, then it's easy to write about it. But actually, it's not about like outwardly selling it. It's more about what the benefits are. So it's benefits over features is something that I talk about a lot within content. It's basically, nobody cares what the features of your product or service are. They don't care about the ins and outs. All they care about is the end result, what they're going to get out of it, how that's going to improve their lives. And if you have that in your head every time you think about blog content, then it's really easy to come up with a call to action. Now, a call to action is basically what you put at the end of your blog post. It's that final message of what you want your customer to do next. And if you have a really useful piece of content with a really strong call to action at the end, then it can work really well, basically. It does take practice. Call to actions are not always simple, but as long as you keep the message succinct, you want them to do one thing. The biggest sin that you can commit when writing call to actions is having multiple things that you want people to do. Oh, I want them to go and sign up to my newsletter. I want them to read more blog posts. I want them to buy my product. I want them to do this. I want them to do that. It's not going to work. You need to pick one simple call to action per blog post. And we're going to talk a bit about this a bit more in my second live towards the end of the month, where we're going to talk about blog post titles and how to plan your blog post titles. So I won't go too much into it now, but a strong call to action is really, really key. Finally, benefit number 5. Benefit number 5 is that blogs are really good content for social media. So if you're struggling with what you should be sharing on your social media channels, then blog posts are a great way of generating traffic to your website from social platforms, especially if they get shared and get loads of engagement, and they start to show up in people's news feeds on Facebook, for example. Really good blog content with a really snappy headline, it's really going to help you there. So really, that's your top 5 tips on how the top benefits of blogging for small business owners. There are absolutely loads more. I would recommend reading my most recent blog post for Blogtober, because that goes into some of the benefits that I've mentioned already, plus some additional ones. And then that's it, really. There's lots of blogging and online marketing resources in my free resources library if you want to check that out. Basically, if you go to, I'll post a link as well, but if you go to my website, thecontentconsultant.co.uk, and then there's a little bar along the top. If you click sign up, you can you can sign up via MailChimp. You get a monthly newsletter the last Friday of every month, but you also get access to loads of resources. I've actually added a couple specifically about blogging recently, just for Blogtober. So you've got a blog post planner, and you've also got a really cool spreadsheet that, I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not. A really cool spreadsheet that basically helps you to plan all of your blog posts, going beyond just what the blog title is, what its purpose is, and all that fun stuff as well. So yes, I will drop a link to that in the comments. In fact, let's do that now. Bear with me. This is the moment when my internet gets very slow. Here we go. Hello, Mum. Thank you for coming. So there's the link for the free resources sign up. If you join on there, like I said, you'll get the newsletter, you'll get access to all those resources, and I'm adding new ones all the time. And I'm now going to open the floor to any questions. I know that there's not a lot of people here, which is fine. It's a funny time of day anyway, and most people will probably catch up with this on the replay. But if you do have any questions about blogging, I will leave the live open, just to tell you guys about the next one. So on Wednesday, the 17th of October, I'm going to be doing a second live. I'm really hoping it goes better than this one. This was very nerve-wracking for me as it was the first and I'd not done one before. Usually I'm really happy talking in front of a camera, but for some reason this one was really scary. So thank you to those who have come and commented and everything else. The one on the 17th of October is going to be about coming up with great blog post titles for your business. So if that's something that you're struggling with, you're not sure where to start, or maybe you've already written blog posts but they're not quite working for you, then I've got a few strategies and tips that will help you with that one. And I guess because there's no questions, I am going to leave it there. And I will see you on the 17th of October, hopefully. In the meantime, please do follow along on the Facebook page, The Content Consultant. I'll be sharing all the Blogtober content on there. So it's a new blog post every Monday that's to do with blogging, and then throughout the rest of the month I'm just going to be sharing useful resources, tips, tools, etc., all around the topic of blogging for small business. And I will see, like I said, I will hopefully see you at the next live, and I will end it there. Thanks again for coming, and see you soon.